Good morning. Hello. We have another episode of your dependablepartner.com Smooth Move podcast. And today we are really graced with the presence of Tina Hill and Samantha Lambros. Samantha is a lifestyle coordinator, and Tina is the business development person at the club in Boynton Beach, which is a very, very special community that they're going to tell us about. And we're also going to talk a little bit about making that move because we just did a move with them recently. And what are the things that we can do to make things even go better for those of you that are making the move yourself. So I don't know, whichever one of you would like to start talking a little bit about your community and what you do and maybe some upcoming events, and then we can go from there.
I can start. My name's Samantha. I'm the lifestyle director at the club at Boynton Beach, and I oversee the programming for both our assisted living and memory care neighborhood. Some exciting upcoming events we have coming up this month. We have an opera happy hour on October 16th from 2:30 to 4. We'll be having an opera singer performing, as well as some martinis and hors d'oeuvres. So definitely stop by and come enjoy a day in opera. And then we also have our Clubtober Fest on October 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30. So we have our annual event. I don't know if you want to touch base, Tina, about what we do for Clubtober Fest, but it will be a lot of fun.
It's our second annual Clubtober Fest. So we are really having a great time out in our courtyard here. We have a German band. We have a great menu with Zigeuner schnitzels. We have bratwurst and all the German great food. We have here German beer. So we invite our friends, our neighbors, also professional networking, and our family also as well.
And that's open to anybody in the community. And do they need to RSVP?
Yes, we're asking that you RSVP. I think we had almost 200 people last year, so it's a grand event. We have valet parking also. It gets very busy at this time, so we welcome everybody to come join us.
And how do they RSVP? Is that through your website?
So they can call us at 561-777-7194. And that's the RSVP number here at the community, at the club.
Great.
One more time, Tina, just in case.
561-777-7154.
Great.
94, I'm sorry.
So, and I always like, I think that the origin story of your community is so incredible. Can you just tell people about that? Because to me, that just really gets my heart every time.
You want me to touch base?
Oh.
So our community is family owned and operated. Our owner of the building built the building in honor of his grandmother. And we actually have his other grandmother living in our community currently. And today's her birthday.
Yes.
She just turned 99 today, Miss Edna.
Oh,
So we'll be celebrating her birthday today. So we're a very intimate and boutique style community, and we're just one big family. So that's kind of the background of our community. Yeah.
You know, Joelle, thank you, Sam. Joelle and I had the opportunity not only to really tour the community, but also to assist with some new residents moving in and helping their move be a smooth one. And I got to tell you, and this may sound really petty and silly, but it's important to so many people. I would put your chef up against any Michelin chef in the state of Florida, and I think he would win. I think he would win. We had the privilege of meeting him. But you know, when you go into a community and you get a sense almost immediately of, is this sort of an institutionalized, if you will, kind of cold and, you know, very regimented, or is this like a very loving, caring, happy people? You know, you love to see happy people. My test, and I don't know about Joelle's, but I'm just going to tell you my test. When I walk into a community, I'm not really looking at the residents. I'm looking at the staff. And I'm saying, if the staff is happy, Because if the staff is walking around with a sourpuss face, well, I can't imagine that the residents are going to be too happy. But everybody's happy. And what a beautiful, beautiful community, and what a like a perfect location, honestly. I mean, you're, you know, half a mile from the beach, a mile from the beach. I don't know. You're pretty close to everything, really. And just really, you get that family owned feeling. Not that this is just a templated, community and they've got 50 of them and, they run them that way. This is a different kind of feel.
Yeah.
I agree completely. It's so it just is so warm, so warm.
Thank you. Carlin's, the chef, has been here since we've opened the club. It's almost 6 years now.
Yeah, almost 7.
Almost 7 years now with the club. And Carlin's has been here since the beginning, the opening of the club. So he really goes above and beyond to accommodate the residents, no matter what their diet is. And he does
But
all
it's
different types
delicious.
of meals.
I mean, it's aside from accommodating, Tina, I would eat there breakfast, dinner, lunch. I mean, I think if I came into the community as a resident, I might weigh like 500 pounds of food. So
That's why we think it's very important when our family members and join us for activities that we have here at the club. And also when we're doing tours, we're always offering people to stay for lunch, stay for dinner, so they can enjoy the food and see what all the club has to offer. Join in the activities that we have. There's always food involved with everything we do here. And
there you go.
Great. So we did a recent move and it went, pretty well. But Tina, from your perspective, are there some things that maybe family members could do ahead of time that makes things smoother for everybody? I know there's a little bit of a delay maybe in getting internet and cable. And if they don't get on that fast enough, sometimes people are sitting there without that resource, which of course is not something anybody really wants to do.
So first of all, JL, you were amazing, and Brian too,
Oh,
helping
thank you.
out the families that move in here to the club. It's very overwhelming, we find, for families, especially if they're not here in Florida. They're coming from out of state as well. And the family in particular you helped, they were in rehabilitation centers, and they were both in 2 separate rehab centers at the time. And the daughter was from out of state. So that even complicated it even more. So having you come in and deal with each move was certainly the greatest thing for the daughter. She was just totally overwhelmed, and I don't think she could have done it without you.
It was hard for her, for sure.
Yes, it's very difficult, and it's very overwhelming until you try to do it for yourself. And then you realize how difficult it is and how overwhelming it can be. So I say to families, I think it's very good to not to overwhelm themselves, to get the assistance that they need here at the community, and to call people such as yourself, partners, so that you can guide them step by step on moving things, what to bring, what not to bring. That's very important, because there is so much things in some of these apartments and some of these homes that downsizing becomes very difficult to do. So it is very important that they see another perspective, and we appreciate that, you helping out our families very much.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I just want to even go a little bit further, if I might. Look, folks, you can hire 2 big guys in a truck, to move people. There's no science to that, right? I mean, it's not complicated. But what we pride ourselves on, and working with the club, and various communities, but especially the club, we're making sure that new resident has as little disruption in their life, if you will, making this move. And we say smooth move. Yeah, it sounds good, but we really want it to be a smooth move, right? We want to make sure that you're packed correctly, that you know what's coming, that you know what's not coming, One of the things we do is we came to the club first and we saw the room, and we know what apartment this couple is moving into and what it can and cannot accommodate.
Right.
Otherwise, if you hire two big, strong guys or three of them with a truck, you're going to be left with boxes in there, just boxes and boxes and boxes. And being in your new community is not the time for you to be dealing with downsizing, right?
Right.
That's not
Right.
the right place, folks. And so what Joel and I pride ourselves on is managing this process. We have the tools, we have the resources, and we have the relationships with communities like the club so that you, or if you're watching this for a family member, that they are actually sleeping in their bed that night, unpacked, with as much semblance of normalcy as we can possibly give to minimize that new, I know Joel hates this word, but I have to say it, this new transition into a new community.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
the key.
sometimes it's just that the adult child needs permission to do certain things. Like, I don't know, my dad said he doesn't need this, but I know he really loves it. Okay, but it's like, this giant piece of furniture that's not going to fit there. Your dad understands that you're holding on to something you don't need to hold on. You have permission. Let's donate it or sell it or whatever we can do. Sometimes, the child needs that permission as well, because they don't want their parents to be upset because the move is already challenging. Change is challenging for everybody. So sometimes it's good to just have that third person to give you the permission to let go of certain things.
Yeah,
Also,
or we often are the ones who get screamed at instead of the children.
yeah, and that's okay.
Which
All
is
right.
okay. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that as a positive.
Right, of
Let them
course.
scream at us
The
because
buffer.
we can give them the
You're the
physics, right?
middleman.
This doesn't fit. No
Right.
matter how you slice it, it doesn't fit, right?
Right.
And so you could be mad at us, but I mean the fact's a fact. Whereas when they're dealing with the child getting rid of that piece of furniture, now it becomes a tug of war and an emotional sort of challenging back and forth of yeah, what it really is, honestly, is just no one wants to lose their independence and they want to
Of course.
be decision makers in their own situation. Space dictates, this, not personal taste, right? It's space. And so Joel and I are very adept, especially Joel, give credit where credit's due. Joel is especially adept at, really handling that in social work background. I'm much more, it fits or it doesn't, in or out, yes or no.
It's a good combo because
That's my brain. It
my
either
emotions get there
comes or it
too.
doesn't, right? It's either going to fit or it ain't going to stay in the hallway. And Joelle is much more with her social work experience and dedication and background. She is much more able to make that conversation go a little bit smoother, and more accepting for everyone. So, what other tips? What else can you tell us that you think our viewers and listeners need to hear?
I think from my perspective, like with the activities background, I know there'll be times where Tina or Fabiola will be like, can we put this new resident in an activity while their family transitions? I know you don't like that word, Joel, but transitions their furniture and moves their stuff in, because it is a very overwhelming experience, especially if someone is coming from a home or from a rehab, and now this is their first community that they're living in. So I think definitely getting them involved in activities, that socialization is key and is very important for new move-in. That's why we have like the ambassador program where we try to pair them up with a resident that's their neighbor, has similar interests and hobbies. So trying to do that as well to ease the kind of the nerves of the move per se. But that
I
would be
didn't,
my
I
kind
didn't
of,
know that you had that program. That's fantastic.
yeah, we tried definitely to at least pair them, even if it's just their neighbor, like their next door neighbor, introducing them the first day so they know who's living next to them, having them sit with them for a meal, to kind of ease the transition into the dining room, because it can be overwhelming coming to a new place and seeing new faces and not knowing anyone. So I think that's very important, and getting to know the resident on a deeper level, get their background, their history, what they did for a living, what their hobbies and interests are. Because from my perspective as the lifestyle director, I try to incorporate their interests and their hobbies into the calendar. For example, we had a gentleman move in a couple of weeks ago who loved to go horseback riding. So I'm like, let me call the miniature pony company, have them bring in the ponies. It may not be a large horse that he can ride, but let me bring in the ponies and have him reminisce and think about that time in his life. I really do try my best to incorporate that into the calendar.
Gee, I gotta tell you, Samantha, that is so uninstitutional.
Exactly. And
That
so
that really
caring,
is. That is like that way of thinking is so what makes the club so special. It really is. That is not the way an institutional community would think.
Absolutely.
right. I love that you think outside of the box because not every person is the same. And I think that's what people have in mind when they think of going to a community. Oh, I'm going to have to eat dinner at this time. I'm going to have to do this activity every day. I'm going to have to do this. I don't want someone telling me what to do. And I love that you create things around the person that meets their needs and their desires and their interests. And you're not trying to stuff them into a box that works because this is what you do today in this community. That's really, really special.
Absolutely. That's why the calendar is constantly changing. You guys can take a look at our website and see our calendars. But I always want to introduce and add different things. Obviously, you'll have your typical bingo and your trivia and things like that. But I do try to, like you said, go outside of the box. And we have outings every Thursday for assisted living. So they go to restaurants, they go to museums. We have a yacht cruise planned for the end of this month, a 2-hour sightseeing yacht cruise. So we're not your typical assisted living, definitely. And even memory care, they go on outings as well every other Tuesday, and they get off of the bus. Most communities that you go to for memory care just do the scenic bus rides, but we take them to the local chocolate factory. We have a picnic at the beach. We just started introducing restaurants. So we are not your typical community by any means.
No, definitely not. And what I mean, I know Brian has said it before. I certainly have. Many communities I'm in, and especially yours. I could live here. This would be fantastic. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I don't have to do laundry. It's fabulous to me.
Yeah.
So give us the website and the
Downsides a
phone
little,
number
that's
one
it.
more time. Tina and Samantha, give us the website address and the phone number one more time.
The website is theclub@boyntonbeach.com. And then the phone number is 561-777-7194.
Okay. And is there anything that you guys, like a success story you want to tell or something else about your community that we may have missed?
I'd just like to thank you and Brian for all your help and all your support you've given us here at the club and making families feel very comfortable about moving in. I mean, Sam, she does all the great activities, but getting someone into the club and getting them settled to their new home is really important to us. And that's the first step into moving into senior living. So
It's our pleasure. And we
appreciate
thank you so much for partnering with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you have all enjoyed this podcast, hit the subscribe and like button below. You can visit us at yourdependablepartner.com. You can visit the club at theclub@boyntonbeach.com. And we will be back next week with another episode of Your Dependable Partner, the Smooth Move podcast. If you need a smooth move, or your neighbor needs a smooth move, or your parents need a smooth move, give us a call. You can see us at yourdependablepartner.com. And thank you so much, everyone.